Hi, and thanks for watching this video on scaffolding fractions for grade 4. Today we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about some common fraction language mistakes. We're going to talk about how to support students making sense of the number line when there's more than one whole on the number line. And we're also going to talk about how to use what students know with whole numbers and unit form to help them make sense of fractions. So first, precise language. I can't tell you how many times I'm in classrooms and I hear students say 4/3, 1/2. Make sure that you model and encourage your students to always name fractions precisely using the name of the unit. So instead of saying 3/12 or 3/12, you want to make sure you're saying 3/12 with that unit form word for the unit. The other thing I hear a lot is the improper fraction. There's actually no such thing as an improper fraction. There are fractions less than 1 and fractions greater than 1. And all of them are okay. It might not be in the most simplified form, but it's still not improper. The next thing I want to talk about is multiple wholes on a number line. So on the top of the screen, you see typically what students in 3rd grade use as far as one number line representing 0 to 1, and they can count the number of units on the number line, and that's going to tell them the units. So in this case, there are 8 parts or 8 units that make the whole, so it's used eighths. In the second number line, you can see that there's multiple whole numbers. And if I highlight one whole, I can see that there are 4 units in each whole number. So in that second number line, the units are fourths. And then the final one might look like what a student in 4th grade might need as a support to help them really be able to leverage the number line as a tool. And this is where I've highlighted each whole in a different color. So it can help me identify what units are part of each whole and help me see the 3 distinct wholes that are on the same number line. And then each color should have the same number of units, so I can see that each whole in this case is composed of 5 units, so they will be fifths. In 4th grade, when we start doing fraction operations, students can feel really overwhelmed, and unit form and whole numbers can be a great way to help them feel safe and comfortable and let them know that they know a lot that's going to help them with this. They all know 3 plus 2 is 5, or 2 plus 2 is 4. And then if I ask them, what if I had 3 frogs plus 2 frogs? And they say 5 frogs. So then when I pose 3/6 plus 2/6 written in unit form, it doesn't feel so intimidating, because if 3 frogs plus 2 frogs is 5 frogs, then 3/6 plus 2/6 is 5/6. And then I connect that to the fraction notation, and it can help students understand that they really do know a lot that's going to help them move to this new notation. Multiplication, we have a lot of options here. So we have 3 times 3/4. Especially as we get into fraction operations, it is very helpful if we can get in the habit of also reading the multiplication sign as of, because in 5th grade, they're going to do 3/4 of 3, which is 3/4 times 3. In this case, we can say 3 groups of 3/4, or 3 copies of 3/4. Again, writing it in unit form can help it feel a little less intimidating. We can see 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 is 9/4. We also could skip count by 3/4, just like we skip count by 3s. If I skip count by 3s, it's 3, 6, 9. And if you look at that tape diagram in the bottom corner, if I skip count by 3/4, I have 3/4, 6/4, 9/4. On the other side of this slide, I've included a number line where I've used color coding in a slightly different way. This time I've used my highlighters, and instead of highlighting the wholes on the number line, I have highlighted the sets of 3/4. So my first group of 3/4 is yellow, then I have a group of 3/4 in blue, and then I have a group of 3/4 in purple. Another way to do this, if not lots of colors are overwhelming, just make sure they have 2 colors so they can alternate to go back and forth. So, quick summary, we need to make sure we're using precise mathematical language and naming fractional units using the correct words and terms. Second, Leverage the connections to whole numbers and unit form. When students can see it in unit form, this work with fraction feels really easy because it's easy numbers. It's small numbers that they're working with. Third, use highlighters and color coding to support students making sense of number lines. Number lines is often not students or teachers' first priority or favorite representation in grade 4, but it is one of the most important representations because it's one of the only ones students use in elementary school that we continue to use into high school and beyond. So we really need to get kids to understand and feel comfortable with number lines. The last piece is connections across multiple representations. We always want to represent through drawing pictures and area models and number lines and tape diagrams and unit form, and always have the conversation of how are these the same and how are they different. That's really going to help kids leverage all those tools and make connections. If you like this video, you can check out more videos on our website. We also have printable resources, and you can reach out to schedule PD and coaching.